Alright, Megaman Battle Network 3, I'm Ian, and this is the N1 Grand Prix Preliminaries Round 1. Yes, it's a long name, and the title will not be any shorter. So first you talk to your three friends, Lan, Dex, and Melu, Dex, and Yai. Melu is the girl with purplish hair, Yai is the short kid with ridiculous pigtails, and Dex is the slightly larger fellow. So yeah, you go meet up at the park to try and figure out what to do, because you're trying to do some group study for your homework. Again, a very helpful thing to do, especially in later years at university. Extremely helpful. So now this crazy guy with a cowboy hat comes up and tells you that he works for a TV station, and they're holding a net battling tournament. Seems kind of sketchy to me, but still, like the fact that he says he's with like a legitimate TV station is kind of the thing. It kind of makes him less sketchy. And he says ciao, which is Italian for goodbye, so he's kind of an odd fellow. I don't even remember if this guy has a name. I just remember him as the guy with the cowboy hat. So now you have to go meet at the square, which is in, well, there's a square in each main net area of the game. The square is where like a lot of shops and message boards and whatnot are. So you go to the AC/DC square because you don't have access to the other parts of the net. So first you need to go home. The town layout's pretty much the same as the last two games, but unlike the other two games, the net changes. Well, it does in every game, so which can get confusing, especially if you're familiar with stuff. So alright, so you go to Lan's computer and press the R button to connect to the network of it. Or jacking in, as the game likes to say. Odd choice of words, but you know what? Whatever. You will not be able to open that purple door till near the end. As you're running around, you find mystery data. They come in three varieties: blue, green, and purple. Blue is one time only, so you get the reward and you never see that exact mystery data again. Green is generic. You'll find it pretty much in the same spots, and it'll always give you one of a set number of rewards. And purple, you need an unlocker subchip. Subchips can be bought from subchip merchants or found in other mystery data, usually blue. So green will respawn every time you reconnect to the network, which can be good or bad depending on what you want. Like if you're very OCD about collecting them all, you're going to be annoyed because they show up every time you go in. But they're also good to pick up because you get extra money, some useful/useless chips that you can throw away to the trader. The purple ones are usually some of the best, just because like how it's a one-time thing, but it also requires you to pay like $4,000 just to get the unlocker subchip. Again, the unlocker subchip is found at subchip merchants, and it's usually the most expensive one there. Oh cool, you have a charge shot from the very beginning of this game. You get the charge shot by holding down B. Mega Buster is just by pressing B. It's an extremely weak attack, at least for now. Later it does get much stronger, going up to, well, normally 5 regular damage, 50 charge shot. But you can find ways to extend that and go beyond that limit. That will come up in in later stuff, so don't worry about it right now. For now, just worry about getting through the game and having fun. Although that should be your main priority no matter what. Even for me, as I make these. I don't make these because I want to. Well, sorry. I do make these because I want to. Like, if I didn't feel like making a guide for Battle Network 3, I probably wouldn't make one. Although I think my somewhat OCD to try and go for 100% everything would probably make me do it. It's not like these are bad games. I really loved them as a kid. Wait, how old was I when this game came out? 13? 12? 10? No, that's too early. That does say 12 or 13 when this game came out. So... Alright, so you have a true and false quiz. Oh, it's a good thing I remember what's going on. So you have to bring back the X for false, circle for true, and you can only bring back one. So here's your first question. Red means stop. The answer is, well, hopefully it's true. If red did not mean stop, I think there'd be some major problems, at least at this point. If you think about it, stop signs are red. Red lights on traffic usually mean stop. I can't see why they wouldn't mean stop. Red is just usually used as a color that kind of means don't go there. At least when it comes to lights and movement symbolism. Or in the case of Mirror's Edge, it means go for it. That game just broke all the rules when it comes to traffic light colors. But there aren't traffic lights in that game. So there's a bunch of these preliminary rounds. There's actually 3, surprisingly. I'm not really sure why there's 3, artificially lengthen the game, or this just goes along with the story. Because they don't tell you how many people start off in this tournament. They just kind of... It does get narrowed down to 2 eventually, but... The actual tournament itself only has, I think, 32 contestants. Yeah, I'm right. The original, or the real tournament has 32, and they don't tell you how many people were involved before that. All you know is that your friends pretty much make it through the tournament. Somewhat spoiler alert, I guess. Your friends basically get into the tournament. Not sure how much that really matters, but... Alright, there's something I didn't exactly mention about battles. It's bug fragments, or bug frags. You get them in this game by countering an enemy's attack. Now to counter an attack, you have to hit them just before they attack you. So when you kill an enemy, if you see them kind of move back as they die, that means you get a bug frag. Now the way the bug frags work is if you get one enemy counter. By the way, enemy counters have to be done as on their death in this game. So 1 counter means 1 bug frag, 2 counter means 3 bug frags, and 3 counters means 8 bug frags, I believe. So that's good to know for very late in the game when you need, like, I think near the end to get all the extra stuff, and you think you need like 1500 bug frags or something insane like that. And I actually went and did all the bug frag farming, which is ridiculous. Oh, Trick question, answer's false. A ton of feathers is not heavier than a ton of lead, and a ton of lead is not heavier than a ton of feathers. A ton of feathers and a ton of lead are the same weight. The fact that it's saying a ton means that they weigh either 2,000 pounds or 1,000 kilograms, whether you run on the metric or imperial system. And that was way too much information for that question. In fact, it was the only question of this mission I actually remembered before seeing it. Because I remember this actually stumped me the first time I did it. I didn't know what the answer was, and I actually brought back the wrong answer. Because it makes you think, because one of the items is lead and one is feathers, that the lead is automatically heavier, when in fact saying that there's exactly 1 ton of each, it just means that there's a lot less lead than feathers. I wonder how many feathers it would actually take to make a full ton. And in that case, how many birds would you need to get? How many birds would you need to get said feathers? Or even, what was the third thing I was about to say? How much space would these feathers take up? Like, if you pack these into boxes, how many boxes do you think you would need? Leads would be much easier for this. Obviously, you can figure out how many birds you need because you don't use birds for lead. But I'm sure finding out how much space like a block of lead would take up, and then find out how many you need to get to a ton, depending on what your measurement system is, be much faster. Obviously, anyone listening to this realizes I'm scrambling for, I'm grasping at straws for content to speak of. I don't know how people do this so much. Like the guys who do tons of Let's Plays and have like 10,000 videos on their channels. I don't know how the hell they actually pull this off. I can barely go for like 5 minutes without running out of everything I need to say. But I guess they kind of do the same things I do, and instead of watching a video of themselves play, they're actually playing, so that's probably the main thing. The fact that I recorded these close to a year ago, getting on like 10-11 months since I recorded them. Just that fact alone probably makes it more boring for me, because I'm not doing this live. If I was doing this live, I'd probably be having more fun, because I'm actively playing the game. But the fact that I'd be playing it live would probably mean that you wouldn't get any fancy editing. The reason to AC/DC Area 1 is because that's where the answer is. Well, the answer to this question, I didn't read the question, I don't remember what the answer is, but you will see me get it. Excuse me. I wonder what the answer is. The answer is apparently false. I don't remember what the question was, but the answer is false. And the rest of this video is me running back to the square. So I shouldn't hum on these. Or sing, especially that one. I'm terrible at singing. My voice isn't very good for that type of activity. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, you're gonna quickly realize that these cannon guys can't really be taken out with one chip unless it's a sword, and you're not gonna like it. Not because they're difficult enemies to fight, just because it is boring. Or it's more tedious to fight those enemies. Because the Metars and the Bunnies, they can be taken out with one hit. Cannon, sword, shotgun, V-gun, or side gun with a +10 chip added on. Mini bombs too. But the cannon guys, the only thing that can kill them is either a sword, a cannon with 2 +10 chips, or a mini bomb and 1 +10 chip, at least at the moment. I just say at the moment because you don't have any chips right now. It's a little tedious, and eventually you'll get to a point where you can probably destroy them in one hit. Another note on the bug frag thing, I think the charge shot on your Mega Buster can count. So, with answering those questions, you complete round 1, and I will see you people in the next video.